Wasserman Schultz, Congresswoman from Florida. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. What is your reaction to what's going on right now with the Republicans?
Well, you know, as I watch this train wreck that the Republicans are engineering as we hurtle toward default, the word that comes to mind is irresponsible. I mean, this is just not a responsible way to deal with addressing our deficit and making sure that we can strike a balance between getting a handle on our long-term deficit and making sure that the nation doesn't default on our obligations. And that's what the Republicans, I guess, don't grasp. I mean, Tom, you know, I'm as committed a Democrat as they come. Obviously, I'm the chair of the Democratic National Committee. But one of the things that I understand as a member of Congress who was elected to represent constituents and be responsible is that it can't be my way or the highway. I mean, the cuts that we are going to have to vote for in order to reduce the deficit are painful, ones that Democrats would not normally want to vote for, as the president has said. But we understand that we're going to have to compromise in order to make sure that we can continue to get our economy turned around, get a handle on the deficit, avoid default, and make sure that our credit rating doesn't go down. And what the Republicans don't understand is that compromise is an absolute necessity. It's just shockingly irresponsible. At the end of the day, we need to sit down at the table, find a reasonable compromise that strikes a balance, and pass a balanced plan that doesn't pile all the pain on our seniors, on children, on the middle class and working families.
Congressman, let me ask you a follow-up question on this. One of the things the Republicans were saying today, and it wasn't just today, I've heard others saying it in recent days, they have been saying that the corollary of this is that the Democrats, to their mind, are not leading specifically President Obama. They're saying he needs to come out and say what he wants in a plan, and he won't do it. I mean, how do you respond to that?
That's just simply not true.
No, real numbers, written down numbers.
President Obama has offered plans, has worked with Speaker Boehner. They were negotiating a full plan, and then twice now, Speaker Boehner has walked away from those negotiations where they were developing a plan, one that would have had balance, one that would have had revenue as well as cuts. And John Boehner got cold feet, is unfortunately allowing the extremists in his party to control what happens, to jeopardize our economy, to hurdle us toward default. And you know, it's time to let the extremists go and find some reasonable common ground in the middle and make sure that we can come together and strike a balanced compromise.
Are you satisfied then with the president's leadership on this? Because I have to tell you, there have been Democrats in recent months who have said to me they are not satisfied because they feel like the president should, again, much more explicitly say what he wants with numbers next to it, not merely, I would like things to be better.
I'm proud of the president's leadership. I think he's done an excellent job. He has clearly laid out in numbers and in broad terms exactly what should happen. That we should make sure that we, when it comes to cuts, don't pile all the pain on groups of people who can least afford it, on the middle class and working families, that we can make sure that we preserve education and look for cuts, significant cuts that we'd all prefer not to have to make, but cuts nonetheless that ensure that we can continue to educate our children, take care of seniors, make sure that, that people can remain healthy, and at the same time, also ask something of the wealthiest and most fortunate Americans. That's something that the Republicans simply refuse to do. Instead, they are insisting and scrounging for votes tonight for a bill that is dead on arrival in the Senate, that the president has said that he does not support. For what? To satisfy their extremists in their party.
We're going to have to go, but I want one last quick question from you here. Do you think we're going to have a deal, and if so, how soon? Short answer.
I absolutely hope so. Democrats are ready to be at the table. We've been at the table ready to compromise. We need partners, and right now they simply refuse to be there.
How soon?
We need them right away, now.
But how soon do you think we'll have a deal?
If you listen to your guests tonight on the other side of the aisle, it doesn't appear that we're going to have one very soon.
All right. Congressman Wasserman Schultz, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.